welcome back, dear viewers. And as we said in our first segment of today's edition of the Breakfast Show, we'll be talking about the Eid al-Fitr and also about the less privileged and also the efforts of the NGOs and the civil society groups to bring happiness to those to the poor and needy and less privileged, as it is all about sacrificing for the poor, and to shed more light on the efforts of these NGOs during Eid al-Fitr. We're most delighted to be joined by Mr. Ayoub, Mohammed Ayoub, and he's a Minister of Commercial. First of all, good morning to you, sir, and thank you for joining us on the Breakfast
Good morning
Show.
to you, and happy Eid to all.
Happy to Doctor. Thank you for joining us. Now, tell us about the importance of NGOs in Egypt at this critical stage where Egypt is trying to move forward towards development.
This is the time for NGOs to show what it can do. Why? Any government in the world at large cannot do everything for the community. Many things, many gaps are there, especially in Egypt, which NGOs or community service organizations are able and willing to do now. Why? They have the finance, they have the experience, they have the knowledge, they have the market survey. So they are able and willing to do now.
Doctor, if you also can tell us about, or give us just an examples to elaborate further about about this charity work in countries like Egypt and other Arab or Muslim countries.
Let us give a live example, which was celebrated on 20th of July, just 10 days ago, when 16 NGOs, including NGOs, Egyptian and non-Egyptian, I mean from United Arab Emirates, Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed organization, banks, conglomerates, industrial complexes in Egypt, many private sector, I will not mention any names of course, individuals have all put their hands together with their projects valued at 120 million Egyptian pounds. That's about more than 70 million, $7 million. What did they do? I will speak about what Rotary, for example, has done. Let us be specific about that. They have worked in 5 governorates: Beheira, Fayoum, Bani Suef, Kena, and Fayoum. What did they do there? Water and sanitation. We know the problems of water in Egypt. They extended just a pipeline of water to the houses of the peasants. The peasants also did not have ceiling for their houses. We cannot imagine that. We are in the 21st century and still people are living in houses without ceiling. They put the ceiling for the houses. This is number 2. Extended just a very small, very simple electricity line for 1 lamp for the family. Number 4, give them education in a new way, which was not used in Egypt until last 10 years, called concentrated language encounter, which actually brings a person, mostly they are women, from illiterate to literate within 8 months. I mean literate within 8 months through the CLE.
So it's a concentrated course.
Excuse me?
It's a concentrated course.
It is concentrated because it connects the person with his own environment. When I'm educating people in Fayoum, for example, in the countryside, I speak in a different language from what I am speaking at Madinat al-Salam in Cairo, for example, or at Al-Bahira. The environment, we connect him with his or her environment. Most of the trainees are women. Why? We focus on women because to teach a woman, you are teaching the family. To teach a boy, I was a boy at some time, you are teaching him only. But in the case of woman, whether she's a mother or a sister or daughter, she tends to proliferate her knowledge to others. So this is another factor. Second, third, medication. Many families are lacking the minimum of just no prescription, no medication at all. Many doctors from Rotarians, they are all professors of the university, go in these convoys, medical convoys, with not only the tools and the resources, but with the medicine. The medicines are not bought by us, but they are given to us by pharmaceutical companies because they know where will these medicines go to. There is a lot of scope.
Yes, it's great because I've spoken to many people who work in NGOs as well as groups, and they seem to all generalize one obstacle that they all face, and that is the legality of their presence and dealing with the government. They complain that the procedures of the government is very slow, it's very it's into routine, and just like any government procedure in Egypt. And while the NGOs, they have good financing and charities by organizations and people from inside and outside Egypt, yet it's the government rules and regulations restrain them from proceeding with their projects or implementing the project at a short time. Now in this new era in Egypt, how are you planning to deal with the government? What are you expecting from the government to help you with?
That is correct, right and correct. Most of them are complaining from bureaucracy, from routine and so on. That's right. I agree. I fully agree with that. We do not work alone. We work through the government. See what this government, let us see about Fayoum, for example. We go to the governor. What can we do? What are you missing in your governorate? You say you want, let's say, 100 things. Of course, we cannot do 100 things for him. So we focus on 3, 4, or 10, or whatever, a sector in his governorate, and focus on it, and begin to show the difference, how we can change the lives of people from minus to plus, from negative to positive, from consumer only to producer and consumer. It is as simple as that. So we work with the government, not parallel to government. It is as simple as that. Maybe other NGOs work in other way, but Rotary works in this way through the government and in collaboration with government. When we inaugurated some projects, the projects in Al-Hagar and Bani Saleh and Itsa, Al-Fayoum, the governor was there. Why? Because we are filling gaps which otherwise could not have been filled. This is number one. Number two, it is a good image for him. Number three, which is very important for us, we changed lives of people from, as I said, from minus to plus. What did they do? When it was in August last year, just before the academic year, we gave to the school children, primary school children, I mean, school bags, copybooks, shoes and socks. This was for the schools. And above that, what happened with the money which you collected from our money? Something really interesting. When you give a peasant, landless, moneyless, helpless, and hopeless, you give him a pregnant buffalo. And give him the fodder, price of the fodder or cost of the fodder for 6 months or 5 months until this pregnant buffalo puts its baby in the calf, and then it generates income for him. In the video, in the photographs which I gave, you can see photographs of these things which we had in El Fayoum. This is the way we do our business in Egypt since 1929. We have 80 Rotary clubs in Egypt.
Yeah. And I think also it's available across the world.
We have, across the world, we have 34,000 Rotary clubs in 200 countries. But still, we don't have Rotary clubs in Libya, Somalia, Iraq, Syria, and some other Arab countries. But one day they will enjoy being able to make benefit of what Rotary does through Rotarians in their own countries. We are Egyptian Rotarians, following the Egyptian rules, following the Egyptian law. We are registered with the Ministry of Social Assurance. It is as simple as that. And we are proud that we are serving our community and helping to change the mindset of the people. It is as simple as that.
Okay, so for those interested in engaging in the civil society work and the civil society groups, what are the legal procedures that they have to go through in order to establish such an organization? And does the government, on its part, facilitate the establishment of such entities? And what are the conditions put forth by the government in order to establish a civil society organization or an organization that works to serve the poor?
To be fair to all those concerned, the Egyptian government has been quite cooperative as far as accepting